Sometimes there's just no words, but you're coming in clear. I'm a natural man and I like what I like. I like the way you think. I like the way you get.
Well, good evening, everyone out there in La La Land. Tuned into another Duncan Showroom live performance tonight, bringing you a classic blues artist by the name of David Vest. Now, just for you guys to know, we have a live audience here as well with this taping, so that's really good. I'm sure glad there's some people here. You guys make sure you're going to have to give it all that boost you can all the way through it. Yeah, they're here. Yeah, they're here. Where are you guys? All right, you're at home in the comfort of your chair, of your house, in the clothes of your choice. Probably imbibing on the beverage of your choice and inhaling the fresh air of your choice. And you're not paying the full price or even more because it's being delivered to you. We are the DoorDash of music. Remember that, people out there. We bring it to you just 13 seconds after it's out of the oven, as opposed to it being 20 minutes out of the oven and delivered to your door if it's only 20 minutes. And you tip that guy. You know, come on, let's get our priorities right. And remember that music is a healer. Whether or not you know you need to be healed, it will heal you. And if there's anybody that can heal you, not just with his music, but with his banter and everything that is about him. He's just one of the iconic things in the blues scene that I've ever had my ability to actually hang out with and call a really good friend. His name's David Vest. And what he needs is a couch and valley welcome. To get him to the stage, please. Mr. David Vest.
Thank you, John. Let's see. That's a little number called Electra Jane, which I was encouraged to record by my old friend Terry Robb. Here's an old song that I wrote, which is on one of my CDs over there. It's a title tune from the CD called Rock a While. And Rock a While was the first song I ever recorded in Canada when I moved up here. I think people need to know, you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not from around here. I'm down south in Victoria. I wasn't born in Canada, but I got here as quick as I heard about it. But this is called Rock a While. I was born in Alabama near the Tennessee line. Done a bit of rocking made in my lifetime. I rocked in the east, I rocked out west, I rockin' old piano, what I know best. Hey, hey, now, won't you rock a little while with me? I'm a Rocket City rebel and a magic man. If I can't get it, baby, no man can. Both hands on the boogie, you can't sit still. The right one don't get you, that left one will. Hey, hey, now, rock a while with me. From a gal, it was a big mistake. Knock, knock, knocking on my baby's door. I promise I'll never be bad no more, no more, no more. Rock a while with me, yeah. He had nothing to hide, bringing out the music from deep inside. He said, come on, David, won't you rock a little while with me? A lot of good music, people, don't you know? Getting hard to find it on the radio. Don't sit around waiting for the phone to ring. Come on, baby, now shake that thing. It's never out of style. Rock a little while with me. Let's go one time. Now I'm going to play a couple of the songs that have inspired me in my lifetime. I found out, I knew Alton Delmore of the Delmore Brothers spent his last years in my hometown of Huntsville, Alabama. But what I didn't know until this week was that his house was 3 blocks from our house. And 2622 Larry Street in West Huntsville, Alabama. And if you never heard of the Delmore Brothers, you've heard of many of their songs. They came back off tour one time. They were home based in Cincinnati at this particular time, and checked into the hotel at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're driving all night, played all night and then drove all night, and ready to go to bed. And Rabin, the guitar playing brother of Alton, said, "Wait a minute, don't we have a recording session in the morning at 8 o'clock? What are we going to sing?" So Alton stayed up and wrote some songs for them just so they'd have something to sing at 8 o'clock. And one of the songs he wrote was Blues Stay Away From Me, which everybody in the world has recorded. Now, when you're an acoustic hillbilly country artist, and every great African-American blues artist in the world sings your stuff, you're doing something right. Blues Stay Away From Me was recorded by Lonnie Johnson, the guy who invented blues guitar playing. He played the first blues guitar solo ever recorded. It was covered by B.B. King. Of course, it was done by the Rockers. It was done by Gene Vincent and the Blue Caps. It was done by the band. It's been sung by K.D. Lang, Brenda Lee, many others. And it's got this little figure of a left-hand part that you might recognize from another song that came along later. This version of the song came along later. I'm going to play the introduction to it. You listen to what I'm doing with my left hand, see if you don't recognize it. stay away from me. Blue, why don't you let me be? I don't know why you keep haunting me. Cheer, so many I can't see. Years don't mean a thing to me. Seems somehow they won't let me be. So that's where that bass part in Fats Domino's Blueberry Hill came from. I think the first time anybody ever heard that on a record was the one they made that morning at 8 o'clock in Cincinnati for King Records, the same label that the Stanley Brothers played on, but also the same label that was the first label that James Brown played on, and that Bill Doggett, who wrote Honky Tonk, recorded for. So this was a label, a really hip label that had the best of the African American blues musicians and the white country guys. And Alton didn't see any reason why they couldn't play together. You can't really hear it on that particular track, but he's on it. A black blues piano player is playing on that session, a guy named Henry Glover, who was the house pianist for King Records. And he played on some other tracks where you really can hear him. And he was such a good player that when Lonnie Johnson recorded this song, also for the King label, he had Henry Glover there to play piano. And although Lonnie was a great guitar player, he let the piano do all the solo work. And just to show you what kind of people we're talking about here, Alton Delmore could have copyrighted that song for himself, written and composed by Alton Delmore. But he didn't. He shared the composer credit with his brother Rabin, with Wayne Rainey, who played the bluesy harmonica on the track, and with Henry Glover, the piano player on the track. So that the rest of his life, Henry Glover got royalty money. That was unheard of behavior. Actually treating somebody like a human being, showing respect. Alton had gotten in trouble for that before when he was working at the Grand Ole Opry. In the original days, the Grand Ole Opry's biggest act was a black musician named DeFord Bailey. He was a great harmonica player. You can still hear some of his recordings, and somebody's written a book about him. And of course, sadly, DeFord Bailey was the only black member of the Grand Ole Opry for about the first 80 years of its existence, or at least the first 50 years or so. And the second was Charlie Pride, who didn't get made a member until after his career had peaked, and he became a big star. In the twilight days of his career, they made him a member of the Grand Ole Opry because somebody on the Grand Ole Opry that had been vetoing him finally died. Somebody who had said, that guy will, that nasty word, will get on the Grand Ole Opry over my dead body. So everybody said, okay. So they did that. That guy apparently was Roy Acuff, who only got on the Grand Ole Opry in the first place because Alton Delmore went to bat for him and got him an audition, made them listen to him. They were showing him the door. They wouldn't even let him in the door. But later that generosity was not repaid in kind. The Delmore brothers, just two brothers playing the guitar from a sharecropping family in North Alabama, just on the north side of the Tennessee River, up near Athens, Alabama. They're in a little town called Elkmont. Now, my family was sharecroppers on the south side of the Tennessee River. And to go across the river up there around Elkmont, that was like a world journey for people that were walking behind a mule and plowing. But my dad loved the music of the Delmore brothers, especially because he could really identify them. And Alton wrote a song about a little place that was near the land they were sharecroppers on. At that time, there weren't that many bridges across the river. You had to take a ferry. And the name of the ferry was Brown's Ferry. What is this? That's my Christmas list. Wait a minute. Something wrong here. Okay. And I'm going to put this over here and pretend I can see it. Now, the Brown's Ferry Blues is the song I'm talking about. And it's one that they had to record 3 or 4 times. They kept coming up with new lyrics and new ideas for it. Later on, it got copied and slightly changed so somebody else could claim to have written it, and they called it the Big River Blues or the Deep River Blues. But the original version was the Brown's Ferry Blues. Maybe they had to take the cotton or the crops and put them on that ferry to get them over to where they could sell them in Decatur at the market. It's usually played at breakneck speed because it showed off Rabin's incredible guitar playing. And when Doc Watson plays it, he does it at blinding speed too. And you know, you really can't hear the words and what's going on. So I thought I'd slow it down and play it so you can really hear what this song is about. It's about this life, this hard life during the Depression of sharecroppers, white and black. Hard luck papa can't stand his ground. He was a good papa, but he's done gone down. Lord, Lord, got them Brown's Ferry Blues. Hard luck papa standing in the rain. If the world was corn, you know he couldn't buy a grain. Lord, Lord, got them Brown's Ferry Blues. Hard luck, papa, don't lose your style. If you want to get lucky, you got to smile. Lord, Lord, got them Brown's Ferry Blues. Hard luck, papa, can't do his stuff. The trouble with him has been too rough. Lord, Lord, got them Brown's Ferry Blues. to rise, and your gal goes out with other guys. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. If you don't believe it, you can try it yourself. That's what I tried, and I got left. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. I got a gal in Cumberland Gap. She's got a little knee high that calls me Pap. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. And I don't go with the girls that chew, 'cause I don't smoke and I don't chew. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. I'm in jail and I can't get free, 'cause that old jailer, he don't like me. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. I had fun when I was free, but I let the wrong things get the best of me. Lord, Lord, got them Browns fairy blues. So if you go home and get on social media, no, don't do that. That'll lead to no good. If you get on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon Music or YouTube Music or some of those things where they like to rent the music and not sell it. You know, you rent it from them, they put it on your device, but they can take it off anytime they want to. Like you can cancel your membership and all of a sudden it'll all disappear from your computer or your iPad. You haven't bought it, you just rented it. But if you buy a CD and take it home, now nobody's going to come and take it away from you. Probably can't give it away. They do make great wind chimes if you tie 3 or 4 of them together. Now, Casey Jones, he was a mighty man, and now he's resting in the promised land. Under music he could understand was an 8-wheeler under his command. He made the freight train boogie all the time. He made the freight train boogie rolling on down the line. Started ringing a bell, everybody far and wide could tell Casey Jones was coming to town. You could feel that boogie down in the ground. He made the freight train boogie all the time. He made the freight train boogie rolling on down the line. page turner. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when they made a tribute album to the Delmore Brothers, the Louvin Brothers, also from Alabama, made up a verse and added it. Delmore Brothers was a mighty team. They could play the boogie and sing like a dream. They rocked hot country with a brand new beat. Freight train boogie got 'em on their feet. They made the freight train boogie all the time. They made the freight train boogie rolling on down the line. Now, in the year 1960, the Louvin brothers, Charlie and Ira, made a pilgrimage to Huntsville, Alabama, to 2622 Larry Street, because they were with Capitol Records, and Capitol had suggested, or they had approved their suggestion that they should do an album that would be a tribute to the Delmore brothers. And there's a video of Charlie Louvin telling the story on one of those channels where they have musicians talk. It's always a mistake. They're like me, they'll say anything that come out of their mouth. Anyway, they asked Charlie, why did y'all go to Huntsville? And the answer was to ask his permission. We weren't going to do it unless we had his blessing, unless it was all right with him. And also to ask him what he thought might be the 12 best songs to put on an album. Apparently their ideas and his were different because they wound up with 25 songs and could only fit 12 on the album. But this was 1960, and Rabin, the younger brother, who played the 4-string tenor guitar, had passed away in about 1952 or 3. And Alton told Charlie and Ira, just wait just a minute. And he went out into another part of the house, and he came back with a 4-string tenor guitar. And he said, this was Rabin's guitar that he played on all our records. I thought you might want to use it on the album, and then y'all can keep it. So this is like somebody handing you the Holy Grail, you know, like giving you Shakespeare's typewriter or something, you know. Wait a minute, that's an allegorical speech. I don't know, allegory, I thought that was a skin disease, you know, when I was in college. But sounds like it, doesn't it? Suffered from allegory. I did suffer from allegory. But anyway, Ira passed away, and Charlie had the guitar, and they came to him when they broke ground and built the Country Music Hall of Fame, which was later in the 60s. I was there the day they put the shovel in the ground, broke ground, to build the Country Music Hall of Fame. They came to Charlie and said, you know, we've got Alton's guitar. If we could have Rabin's too, and have the two Delmore brothers guitars there side by side for people to see, that would really be something. So Charlie knew they would take good care of it, and he was getting pretty old himself, so he let them have it. That's where it is now. You could write a pretty good, interesting book tracing what happened to famous guitars. Like, nobody has found out that famous guitar that is on all the photos of Lonnie Johnson. Where did he get that? Who made it? What kind was it even? But you know, you could you know, put a chapter about Pop Staples' guitar that he played with the Staples Singers, and that wound up in the hands of Marty Stewart. It was with Mavis's blessing, because she liked him and knew that he respected their music. I just read the memoirs of Alton Delmore. They weren't published when he was alive. They couldn't have been. He told too many secrets about the music industry. Who ripped off who and who stole the song from who and all that. You know, and he named names. Roy Acuff doesn't come off looking too good in that book. I'm sure somebody else has got a different view. He even talks about how much he hated the Great Speckled Bird. You know, one of Roy Acuff's big songs. What a beautiful thought I'm thinking concerning a great speckled bird. This great speckled bird is mentioned one time in the Bible, but that's all. It doesn't say anything about it. I mean, why the hell write a song about it? That was Alton's position. Does anybody remember what I was talking about? Be careful how you answer that. If you say yes, I might hold you responsible for remembering where I parked. They were from around Elkmont, between Elkmont and Browns Ferry, Alabama, and Alton wound up living in Huntsville, and he had several children. His heart was broken when he had a daughter who reached the age of 4 and passed away from an enlarged heart. In those days, you didn't have automatic access to medical care like you often do now. In fact, when they were on tour and Alton and his wife were going to have a baby, she was going to have the baby, he had to pay in advance at the hospital the whole cost of the childbirth before they would admit her. So you had to keep that in mind and save up and keep all that ready. The reason I mentioned that story about the little girl that died is in the late 1950s, I was playing with this gospel group in Huntsville, Alabama, the Sacred Airs, they were called, and we were going to make a record, 45 RPM record, but we only had one song, and it wasn't a very good one, and so we said, what are we going to do? Put the same song on both sides of the record? We got to have another song. So the baritone singer who had written the first song said, well, there's a songwriter that lives in town. I heard he lives here. I can find out where he lives and go ask him. So we sent a delegation to Alton Delmore's house, 2622 Larry Street. And some lady opened the door. I don't know if it was the maid or Alton's wife or who, but said yes. And we've come to see if Mr. Delmore will give us a song. And she said, well, just a minute. And she went and got Alton Delmore, and he came to the door and said, give you a song? Yeah, we're going to make a record. We only got one. Give you a song. Well, he had him come back the next week, and the lady, they didn't see him again, but the lady met him at the door and handed him a song, a piece of music. You know, Alton Delmore could read and write music. He insisted that everybody in his hillbilly band learn how to read music. Right. Know everything you can about your instrument. You ought to know how to play all the instruments in this band, because he could. So we had the sheet music written by Alton Delmore, and later I found out that from another of his daughters that this was the last song Alton Delmore ever wrote. She believed it was, and we think it was. And so it means a lot to me that the first song I ever recorded was the last song Alton Delmore wrote, because you can gather what I think of him. And I'm going to do the song the way he gave it to us. I had a heavenly dream the other night. Dreamed I was standing in a world of light. Everybody was so happy there, and I can't get satisfied way down here. I can't be satisfied. I can't be satisfied. Ones are waiting on the other side. Life's ocean seems so wide. Death rides a chilly tide. Till I get home, I won't be satisfied. This was his second verse he'd written. I saw my littlest daughter standing there, free from infirmity she suffered here. She looked so happy with the angels near. I can't get satisfied way down here. I can't be satisfied. I can't be satisfied. Loved ones are waiting on the other side. Life's ocean seems so wide. Death rides a chilly tide. Till I get home, I can't be satisfied. So not only did he give us a song, and he certainly didn't have to do that. This guy wrote over 1,200 songs. He had a pretty good little royalty stream income from songs like Beautiful, Beautiful Brown Eyes, which he also wrote. Gonna Lay Down My Old Guitar, he wrote. Put Me on the Trail to Carolina. When I See That Southern Moon. He wrote a lot of great things. But he gave us a song, he wrote it specifically for us, and he put something in it that really meant something to him. I think of that whenever I meet a young musician trying to get started out, of how Alton Delmore didn't just blow us off. He took us seriously and he helped us. I don't know if you ever heard our recording of it. He passed away a couple of years later. He died in 1964, I believe. So his writing is a big influence on me and an inspiration to me. And I'll play you a song that, I don't want to say it was inspired directly by him, but it certainly came out of studying him. And the way he handles situations and characters in his music. He wanted to be a novelist. But, the music took up so much of his time, mainly driving from one place to another to try to play a show. They had to leave the Grand Ole Opry, where they'd become big stars, because they had some run-ins with management at the Opry. Remember that harmonica player, DeFord Bailey, I was telling you about? He was the biggest star on the Opry at the time. They went on tour with him, and Alton, instead of him, was given the job of settling up, with a promoter. And he he saw that DeFord Bailey, because he was black, was being paid a lot less than everybody else, though he was the main reason anybody bought a ticket to the show. And he told DeFord Bailey, you know, this is what we're making. That's what you should be making, at least what we're making, if not more. And DeFord Bailey went back and said something to management, you know, like, I should be getting more money, they tell me. And they just blew up at Alton Delmore for putting this idea in that guy's head that we should be paying him more. I just, that's one of a handful of reasons that Alton Delmore and Rabin Delmore gave for walking away from the Grand Ole Opry. Couldn't stand to see somebody being treated like that. Anyway, here's the song I was talking about. Thought I heard that streetcar rumble right outside my door. Hush now, boy, you crazy. That car don't come by here no more. Haven't been no streetcar for about 30 years. I'm telling you, I heard it. I heard it with my own ears. Thought I saw my baby walking in a see-through summer dress. And she was coming round the corner down by the cotton press. Hush, old man, you crazy. That gal been gone a long, long while. But I know I saw my baby. She had a hello, honey smile. Guess I've been living in a dream time, like it never went away. But I felt so fine and happy when I heard my baby say, rest easy, baby, while I find my pretty shoes. I feel like going dancing, and a feeling I don't want to lose. Felt the thunder rumble, and I saw the lightning crack. Yeah, that old streetcar took my baby, and I know they ain't coming back. So I bowed my head in sorrow, I set my little teacup down. I said I'll be back tomorrow if it ever comes around. Well, I guess I could do a relationship song. Y'all have those up in Duncan? Sometime I think that's all we have in Victoria. But this is, sometimes I write songs that are not necessarily from my point of view. Like I wasn't quite an old man when I wrote that last song. Funny how that happens, boy. You better watch it. You write a song speaking in an old man's voice, next thing you know, you look in the mirror and you say, who did this to you? Then you remember who did it. Anyway, I was playing in a blues band down in Portland, Oregon, led by the great Paul DeLay, great harmonica player. And he was doing some stuff that sounded like Muddy Waters could have written it, so I kind of got in that bag. And this is called Come Down. Come down, pretty baby, come down. Come down, yes, baby, come down. You got your nose in the air, but your feet can't touch the ground. Come down, see. Come on down, down where reality be. How can I look up to you if you're looking down on me? Come down, quit telling me what I'm not. When you talk like that, you make my redneck hot. 'Cause I don't ask you for nothing, baby, that you ain't got. Don't touch the ground. Hey. We recently lost one of the world's great songwriters, a fellow from Jamaica named Jimmy Cliff. He passed away he was in his 80s. And, this is the guy that wrote Many Rivers to Cross, and I still can't find my way over. And that song's got one of the greatest verses in it ever written. Many rivers to cross, and it's only my will that keeps me alive. There have been times when I found myself thinking of committing some dreadful crime. Because I can't seem to make it in this world, or, because he went on to make it pretty big. He started a movie called The Harder They Come, and he, wrote some songs for that were pretty great. And most of his most famous songs were done when he was young, but I want to do you one of the last songs he wrote. This is on the last album he put out just a couple of years ago. Jimmy Cliff. Yeah. They say that Jesus Christ went to Egypt for refuge. They say the Israelites crossed the Red Sea for refuge. Prophet Muhammad sent his followers to Egypt, Ethiopia for refuge. People running here and there, looking for a home. Refugees seeking to be free. Refugees looking for safety. Refugees all over the land. And refugees need a helping hand. Couldn't they be someone like you or me? There was an exodus from Europe to America. Now there's an exodus from the Middle East to Europe. Yes, there's an exodus from Africa to Europe. People here and there looking for a home. Refugees seeking to be free. Refugees, couldn't they be someone like you and me? Where we sat down, there we were, when we remembered Zion. For the wicked carried us away. Captivity required of us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in a strange land? So let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, override. Jimmy Cliff. Well, I'm going to do I won't claim that this song was inspired by Jimmy Cliff, but I did write it after hearing him the first time and several times. And it's a song that I recorded down in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon. I used to live down there, but I escaped. And the minute I got up here, I thought, well, so this is what it feels like to come home. So I wrote this one and recorded it in a kind of a birdsy arrangement. Should have probably just done it solo. I was born on a rebel river in the Dixie of my dream, where it falls from cold dark mountains in visionary streams. Way out on the water underneath that evening sky comes a ferry boat of fireflies from the last good world gone by. But I've learned the ground I stand on is filled with Indian graves and stolen from the labor of millions of African slaves. You can read it in your book, boy. You can write it on the wall. Well, if peace depends on justice, Babylon must fall. and roll, you lonesome hobo, till your rambling days are gone. God knows where you came from, but I know where you're bound. When that rebel angel rises, don't you let them hold you down. Well, as John told you, I'm a blues artist. That's what they call me anyway. I think they don't know what to call me. That's probably better than some of the things they could call me. So I'll do a real blues song to close out the night with. In fact, this is the saddest song I've ever heard. I wrote it. I was crying the whole time I put pen to paper. And wonder it didn't wash all the ink away. It's about traveling. You know, these days traveling is just a nightmare. Not to even mention border problems. But, you know, you go to the airport and your first flight that you've got to get to make your connection leaves 3 hours late. So you miss the connection for your next flight. And when you finally get on that next flight, or a reasonable substitute thereof, they send you one direction and your luggage in the other. And you get to the hotel where you're going and they never heard of your reservation. And you talk them into giving you a room. I had to talk them into giving Kenny Blues Boss Wayne a room one time. He had lost his wallet. He left his wallet on the plane he was on before when I picked him up. He didn't have any ID. He couldn't even buy a pack of lifesavers. And he said, I don't know how they're going to rent us a hotel room. I don't have any ID. I said, well, you just leave it to me. You just be quiet. I'll go up to the desk and I'll reserve 2 rooms in my name and give them my card and it'll all be fine. And it was going fine. The guy was, you know, making the keys when Kenny stepped in front of him and said, I don't know how you're going to rent it to me. I don't have any ID. I've lost my wallet. I don't have any identification. You'd lose your job if you rent a room to me. And I'm saying, oh, God, Kenny, I know you lost your wallet, but there's no need to get hysterical about it, you know. I say this, I'm telling jokes on him because he published a picture today on Facebook of him touring Europe playing a concert grand piano. How nice it is to be in Europe playing the blues on a grand piano. I thought, I'll get you. So there it is. Anyway, you get to the hotel, you talk them into giving you a room. By this time, you're just beyond exhausted because it's really exhausting dealing with all this stuff. You know that. It's not just musicians that have to do it. Anybody that travels for a living especially. You finally get in your room, and you're so tired, if you had your luggage, you just drop it in the floor and fall on the bed. And you do fall on the bed, but about the time your head hits the pillow, they get started in the room next door. There's a party in the room next door, I can hear it through the wall. No use me laying down when they having a ball. I can hear them out there running up and down the hall. Knock, 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 there's a party in the room next door. Knock, 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 they say there's always room for more. Rock, 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 at the party in the room next door. Well, I'm under the cover with the pillows up over my head. Jumping up and down next door just to shaking my bed. Might as well join the party, my face is turning red. So I go next door, knock, 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 buddy, won't you let me in? Letting everybody else in. Knock, 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 won't somebody let me in. Door opens. Who's that woman? She looks like a bottle of gin. Mama's in the elevator looking on the ice machine. And Daddy's on the roof with a genuine hot rod queen. If anybody needs me, I'll be helping somebody scream. I go next door and join the party. Next thing you know, my morals are in decay. My standards have begun to slide. Pretty little woman, she's laying across my knee, right there. Sweet little mama, she's laying across my knee. She said, I'm too young for you, but you ain't too old for me, Lord. Knock, 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 there's a party in the room next door. Knock, 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 he said there's always room for more. Everybody rocking at the party in the room next door. Yeah, there's a party in the room next door. Party in the room next door. Party in the room next door. What are we waiting for? Everybody rocking at the party in the room next door. Well, I've done a bunch of Alabama songs tonight, Delmore Brothers, and I've talked about the Louvin Brothers. I used to date their sister. It's true. No. No, it's all show business, honey. Pay no attention to the man behind that curtain. I'll do you a song that was written and recorded by a guy from down in a little bit south of Montgomery. His name was Hiram Williams. He was taught to play guitar by an African American blues musician. This is true of many country artists. Some of them will tell you and some won't, but Hiram Williams, better known as Hank Williams, was taught how to play guitar and how to put a song together, and taught a basic repertoire by an African American musician named Rufus Payne. Bill Monroe, who invented bluegrass music, was taught how to play mandolin and guitar and fiddle by an African American blues musician named Arnold Schultz. The same man, believe it or not, who taught the father of the Everly Brothers how to play guitar. So if it hadn't been for this blues artist sharing his knowledge at a time that can't have been very easy for him to live in, we wouldn't have the Everly Brothers. We wouldn't have all I have to do is dream. All those things. And I think a lot of this just points out that Alton Delmore was on the right track when he wanted Henry Glover to play on the session. He wanted to cut him in on the songwriting royalties and stand up for DeFord Bailey. Well, if you've never heard the Delmore Brothers, it's going to be kind of shocking. The records are so old, they don't sound like modern recordings. They didn't get to record on the fancy equipment that came in the late 50s and 60s. But if you listen to the album, A Tribute to the Delmore Brothers by the Louvin Brothers, they did get to record on fancy equipment. And they were trying to show this is what these guys would have sounded like if they could record today. So here's a song by Hank Williams. Well, I can settle down and be doing fine. Then I hear an old freight rolling down the line. Then I hurry straight back home and pack. And if I didn't go, I believe I'd blow my stack. Well, I love you, baby, but you got to understand, when the Lord made me, He made a rambling man. Some folks will tell you I'm no good. They say I wouldn't settle down, mama, even if I could. But when that open road starts a-calling me, there's something over the hill that I just gotta see. And I know sometimes it's hard, please understand, when the Lord made me, He made a rambling man. Well, I love to see the towns rolling by and to ride the rails neath God's blue sky. Let me travel these lands from the mountains to the sea, 'cause that's a life I know was meant for me. And when I'm gone and at my grave you stand, just say God's call home is rounding man. Thanks again. I got some CDs over here, and I'll be glad to come meet and greet with you. You don't have to buy nothing, but we got them if you want to take some home with you. Thank you.
Well, I guess I grew up on an old dirt road. Pedal to the metal, I always did what I was told. Till I found out that my brand new clothes came secondhand from the rich kids next door. Well, I grew up fast, I guess I grew up mean.